He says it's an obligation upon every Muslim to believe in death. What does that mean? Well, death is a reality, so everyone believes in it. No one can deny that, even atheists. No. This is not what is meant here. This is not what is meant here. What is meant here is that it's an obligation on us as Muslims to believe that death is by the command of Allah. Because philosophers, physicians, atheists will interpret it as what? Outwardly, as a failure in blood circulation, a failure in this. It's just the death of the cells. This is what physicians will say. Yes, that's outwardly. But as Muslims, we believe that this is just a cause of death. This is the outer reason for death. As they say, تعددت الأسباب. There are many reasons. وَالْمَوْتُ وَاحِدٌ. There's only one death. And we also believe by means of revelation. So the fact that death happens, no one can deny that. Anyone with sanity, no one can deny that. However, but because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّكَ مَيِّتٌ وَإِنَّهُمْ مَيِّتُونَ. But what we are talking about here is the concept of death in Islam, which is that it's a passage. It is not the end. It's not you came here and you left here and that's it, you don't exist anymore. No, you just pass from this life through a passage and go to a different life, a different type of life. It's the barzakh, the passage between the two lives. And that if we believe in death as that, then we have to prepare for what is after. But if we don't believe in death as that, then everyone will consume all their pleasures in this life. This is an essential difference between Muslim theologians and philosophers. Before Aristotle and after Aristotle, there was groups of philosophers that did not ask any metaphysical question. Their questions were all based on ethical questions. But not ethics as we understand it. Their ethical questions were, how can humans achieve happiness? And for them, achieving happiness was by fulfilling all the pleasures. Hedonism. It's called hedonism. Living a life of pleasures. Enjoying to the maximum. Put no rein and no restriction on anything that you want. So try this and try this and try this and try this. Our modern life, we think that we have advanced from these ages, but in reality, we have that hedonism existing. مبدأ اللذة, the principle of what? Pleasure. Others said, no, it's just a peace of mind. The highest happiness of human beings is to have what? Peace of mind. But they didn't link it to God. So how can people have peace of mind? By managing the fulfillment of their desires. Observe everything to a kind of a moderation. So moderation itself, even though it's a good thing in essence, but it became the highest pleasure of human beings to have that moderate lives, to preserve their life. And we can see individuals who have no faith, atheists for example, who try to lead a very healthy life, balanced life, and all of that, because the focus is, how can I make the maximum of this existence? Whether by fulfilling all my desires, but that might be destructive. Okay, I'm going to put a rein on my pleasures. Someone, for example, practicing sports, not for the sake of maintaining their body so that they can worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No. Maintaining their body because I want to live a fit life. Right? Some people observing specific diet. The point is, what is your focus? What are you looking at? What is your drive? Is your drive this world or the afterlife? If you don't believe in the afterlife, then anything that you do is in this bubble. Guy Eaton says in King of the Castle, he says when someone lives in a bubble, they can't actually judge this bubble from outside. What faith gives you, it gives you, even though you live in this world, it gives you an external eye to look at the reality of this bubble, that is just a bubble. And then you're able to perceive to a degree what is happening beyond that until you get there. Right? But if someone doesn't have that, he cuts himself from revelation. He will try to maximize the comforts that they have in this world. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَيَوْمَ يُعْرَضُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا عَلَى النَّارِ. Those who are in complete denial, disbelievers, when they are subjected to hellfire, they will say, well, why can't we enjoy here? The angels will say, أَذْهَبْتُمْ طَيِّبَاتِكُمْ فِي حَيَاتِكُمْ الدُّنْيَا وَاسْتَمْتَعْتُمْ بِهَا. You consumed all the pleasures you wanted in life. So someone might ask, why do we have to torture ourselves with all of these restrictions? This is haram, this is haram, this is haram, this is haram, I can't do this, I can't do this. Yes, because you don't believe that this is the end. If you wanted to kind of live a life of halal, you would become bored. What is remaining in akhirah for you to enjoy? If you consume everything, right? Don't you always like put a limit on yourself so that you crave? You crave. But if someone has had everything, so what is that they have not tried? Right? What is that they have not tried that they want to try in akhirah? So someone might think, well, what about the... and remember that all of the things that you try in this life, they always have a side effect. If someone tries wine, it has a side effect. It befogs your mind. Well, by the way, those who try it, there's some pleasure in it. Definitely there is some pleasure in it. Definitely. No one denies it. There is definitely some pleasure in it. But we restrict ourselves because we're told, don't go into that. And because we don't believe that we have to taste every pleasure. So what happens, because we live in a world that's imperfect, when we move to the perfect world, all the side effects are taken away, left in this world. And only the pleasure is kept there, the real pleasure. In this life, you can't produce a wine without intoxication. It won't be wine, it will be something else, isn't it? But the one who has the ability to transform substances and matters, he will create for you in akhirah a wine that does not intoxicate. Well, how so? You only know wine means what? Intoxication. Well, that's the wine of dunya. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Man sharib al-khamra fi dunya," the one who drinks wine in this life, lan yashrabha fi al-akhirah. He will not have it in the hereafter. Why? You got it, khalas, finished. You can't have the cake and eat it. You want both. It's impossible. Oh, but I want to enjoy that. You enjoy. What else? What are you looking for? If you have consumed everything, أذهبتم طيباتكم في حياتكم الدنيا واستمتعتم بها. So you came today, you're out of credit. You're in minus. But when you have a lot of restrictions, you're saving. So in reality, deal with life with that concept of what? Saving. I am saving. I'm saving my energy. I'm saving my dignity. I'm saving this. I'm saving that. Because I know that there will be a point where I can use all of this, all of these coins that I've been saying, all of this money. But unfortunately, this money is not in notes. It's in good deeds. Right? So on the day of Qiyamah, I'll be using all of that. So that's the reality of death. That death is a transformation from one state to another. We believe in death in that way. But another person doesn't believe in death in that way. So what do they believe in death as? Oh, you know what? It's a horrible thing. It's something that is going to deprive me from enjoying my life. So if they know that they are in their last illness, they will say, let me. Oh, the doctor said to them, you know what? You are going to die in 3 days. Okay, let me maximize let me do everything that I haven't done before. Why? I've only 3 days to live. Isn't it? A believer says, no, I have a long life to prepare for. That's the difference. That's a completely different framework of looking at life as a mazra'ah, as a cultivating land, or as an end, as a bridge, or as a bank. If it's a bridge, no one builds on a bridge. No one settles on a bridge. No one makes a palace on a bridge. A bridge is there to pass through. It's a tunnel. No one stays in the tunnel and says, I've chosen, this is a very perfect place to... This is a tunnel. long or short, it's a tunnel. This is, some people see death as entering into vacuum, others see it as a delivery from a tunnel. Some see death as dark, others see it as light at the end of the tunnel. Isn't it? Right? That's a completely different framework of looking at death as a delivery, or looking at it as a deliverance, or looking at death as a destruction, finishing. Ad-Dahriyun, those who believe in the dahr, in the time, in that present life, they don't see death as of benefit at all. That's why they're scared of death. But a believer, as the Prophet ﷺ says, he thinks of death كالعروس القادمة, like a bride that is coming to her wedding night. Why? Because death unifies the individual with his most beloved ones.